You ever notice how the American dream used to sound like a bedtime story, but now it feels more like a sales pitch? Yeah, land of opportunity. My ass, it's more like land of optional payments. You want a piece of that dream, pal? Get in line. Bring your wallet. Bring a co-signer. Hell, bring your firstborn if your credit score's under 700. The dream's still there. It's just not for everyone anymore. They used to say, work hard, play by the rules, and you'll make it. Now it's work hard, pay the fees, and maybe we'll think about letting you in. Remember when you could go to college without needing a loan the size of a small nation's defense budget? You'd graduate, get a job, buy a house, have a couple of kids, a dog, and still afford a vacation where you didn't have to pack instant noodles. That's the dream, right? Now you graduate with a degree, and they hand you a bill that follows you longer than your shadow. You can't even die to escape it. They'll just send it to your family. Sorry for your loss, but we noticed he still owed 30 grand for intro to anthropology. And these universities, they figured it out. They sell the dream like they're selling designer handbags. Come here, pay us $60,000 a year, and we'll give you a piece of paper that says you're special. They've got stadiums bigger than professional teams, dorms with marble countertops, and tuition that makes you wonder if you're buying a house or a philosophy degree. Meanwhile, half the kids are working 2 jobs and eating ramen that's 25 cents a pack. 25 cents! And that's the discount brand. You know it's bad when you start budgeting your sodium intake. Then you try to get health care. Oh, that's a good one. Land of the free. But don't you dare get sick. You can't afford to. You walk into a hospital with a cough and walk out with a payment plan. They give you a Tylenol for $12 and charge you extra if you breathe too loud. Room fee, oxygen fee, existing fee. They've monetized existing. You got insurance. Great. That just means you get to argue with 3 different companies before they all tell you the same thing. We're sorry, that procedure isn't covered. Covered. Buddy, I could use a blanket, not a rejection letter. And they tell you, well, at least you've got options. Oh yeah, sure. You can have the bronze plan, the silver plan, or the pray nothing happens plan. They say choice is freedom, but it's not freedom if every choice ends with a bill you can't pay. It's like going to a restaurant where everything's poisoned, but the menu's laminated. It doesn't make it better. Housing. Don't even start. Once upon a time, you could buy a home with 1 job and a handshake. Now you need 2 incomes, 3 miracles, and a down payment that looks like ransom money. Congratulations, you're approved. Approved for what exactly? A lifetime of debt and a front yard you can't afford to mow because you're too busy working to pay for it. Rent's no better. You pay $2,000 a month to live in an apartment the size of a shoebox. And the landlord tells you not to hang anything on the walls because it's historic. Historic. Yeah. From the last time someone could afford to buy property, and it's funny because they still sell it like it's attainable. You watch commercials, happy people, big smiles, shiny teeth, 2-car garage. Live the American dream. Meanwhile, the rest of us are trying to figure out if we can afford both gas and groceries in the same week. You can have a dream or a full tank, not both. They make it look like happiness is something you can finance. 0 down, 0% interest, 0 chance of ever being debt free. You ever talk to older folks about this stuff? They'll tell you, well, back in my day, I bought my first house for $25,000. Yeah, and back in your day, a cheeseburger was a dime, and college tuition was less than a car battery. Times change, but the story doesn't. They keep telling us the same fairy tale, like maybe this time it'll work out. Work hard, and you can have it all. Sure, if by all you mean bills, burnout, and a credit card that's maxed out because you try to live a little. They say opportunity is everywhere. Sure, it is, but it's got bouncers now. You need connections, credentials, and enough luck to fill a leprechaun's pocket. The ladder's still there, but someone greased the rungs. You can climb if you want. Just bring your checkbook, because each step costs extra. And the best part, the people at the top pretend it's still the same game. They'll say, we all had to work for it. Yeah, but you were born on third base and thought you hit a triple. The rest of us are outside the stadium trying to find the ticket window. See, the American dream used to be about possibility. Now it's about permission. Permission to try, permission to fail, permission to survive. And that permission, it's expensive. You pay for it every month in rent, in bills, in peace of mind. You pay for it in the time. You don't get to spend living because you're too busy earning. But the real trick, the brilliant part, is they made us believe it's our fault. If you don't make it, you didn't hustle hard enough. If you're broke, you just didn't want it bad enough. Yeah, sure, because wanting it magically lowers interest rates and rent. They've turned economic inequality into a self-help problem. Manifest prosperity. Oh yeah, I tried manifesting a full fridge. Turns out the grocery store doesn't accept positive energy. And yet, people keep chasing it because the dream's good marketing. It's shiny, it's patriotic, it's just out of reach. And as long as you're running toward it, you don't have time to notice that the finish line keeps moving. That's the real hustle. Not yours, theirs. You want the American dream today. It's still available. They've got packages basic, premium, and platinum. Basic gets you a job and a studio apartment with a view of the dumpster. Premium comes with health insurance that doesn't cover dental. Platinum. Oh, that's for the folks who already won. They get the dream and the beachfront property it comes with. The rest of us, we just make monthly payments on the illusion. And that's the thing. The dream's not dead. It's just got a cover charge. You know, people love to say we live in a free country. Oh, they'll chant it, wave the flag, sing the songs. Land of the free. It sounds great. But have you noticed that every part of that freedom comes with a price tag? Freedom's on sale, folks, and we're all buying it on credit. It's like a store that sells liberty by the ounce, and you can't afford the whole pound. You're free to do anything you want, as long as it doesn't bother the people who own the country. They tell you you're free because you can choose between 30 different types of toothpaste. See, you've got options. Yeah, but they're all made by the same 3 companies. It's not freedom, it's just branding. It's like someone letting you pick your own cell. You can have the one with the blue bars or the one with the red ones. Same prison, just a different paint job. And we buy it, we eat it up. Look at all this choice we have. Yeah, you can choose between Pepsi and Coke, Democrats and Republicans, Visa and MasterCard. 2 wings, same bird, and it's flying in circles. We're told we're participating in this big free system, but the real decisions are made way above our pay grade in boardrooms, behind mahogany doors, by people whose shoes cost more than your car. You ever try to get out of debt in this free country? Good luck. The system's designed to make sure you stay just comfortable enough to keep paying. You get a credit card, and suddenly you're living large. Dinners, gadgets, the illusion of success. Then the bill shows up, and you realize you've been renting your own happiness at 19% interest. They don't call it a credit limit because they're being generous. It's a leash, and the tighter it gets, the more you start confusing survival with freedom. And those ads, man, they really sell the fantasy. Buy now, pay later. They make it sound like a favor. Don't worry about the money, just enjoy your freedom. Sure, until you're juggling 5 minimum payments and wondering which bill collector you'll disappoint this month. We used to fight for liberty. Now we finance it. We've become a nation of people who lease our dreams and rent our dignity. And what do they give us in exchange? Distractions. Big, shiny distractions. They give us endless entertainment, noise, and nonsense so we don't ask too many questions. You've got 500 channels, 24-hour news, celebrity scandals, and reality shows about people yelling at each other over furniture. Keeps you busy, doesn't it? They know if you're arguing about who wore what to an awards show, you're not asking who's controlling your paycheck. They call it freedom of choice, but what they mean is freedom to consume. Express yourself. through our products. You want to be rebellious? Buy this shirt. You want to be different? Get this phone. You want to stand out? Join the club with 1 million other people who bought the same thing. They've turned individuality into a marketing strategy. We used to make our own statements. Now we just pick one off the shelf. And politics. Oh, that's the best illusion of freedom there is. Every few years, they give you 2 options, and you pick the one that lies to you in a way you like better. Vote. Your voice matters. Yeah, it matters like a drop of water in a swimming pool owned by billionaires. They've convinced people that choosing between 2 pre-selected candidates is the height of democracy. It's like being on a plane and getting to vote for which side of the sandwich gets more mayonnaise. Either way, you're still eating the same sandwich, but we feel good about it, don't we? I did my part. Sure you did, buddy. You picked the color of the curtain while someone else locked the door. And that's the genius of it. They make us think we're in control. Freedom means you can complain. Oh, great. I can't afford health care, but at least I can yell about it on the internet. That's progress. And speaking of health care, nothing says freedom like being chained to your job because you need insurance. You can't quit, can't move, can't take a break, because if you do, the next flu could bankrupt you. But you're free. Yeah, free to work until you drop. We've turned the right to live into a workplace benefit. You get a gold watch if you survive long enough to retire. And maybe a few prescriptions to keep you from noticing you spent your life being owned by your employer. We've gotten so used to the system that we actually defend it. People will argue to the death over which billionaire should own their labor. He earned it, did he? Or did he just figure out how to make you think freedom means working for him? We've mistaken opportunity for ownership. We don't own much anymore. Not our houses, not our time, not even our opinions half the time. The media tells you what to think, then sells you the merch to go with it. And the funniest part, we finance our own oppression. We pay for the ads that convince us to buy the things we don't need to impress people we don't like in a system we can't escape. We pay taxes that get used to bail out the same corporations that overcharge us. It's a beautiful cycle. We keep feeding the machine that's chewing us up, smiling because it told us we're free. You ever notice how freedom keeps coming with more fine print? You're free to protest. As long as you stay over there. You're free to speak. As long as nobody important gets offended. You're free to succeed. As long as you don't mind the odds being rigged. They hand you a rule book and call it liberty. It's like being told you can swim anywhere you want in the kiddie pool. But don't worry, they'll keep you happy. They've got slogans for everything. Work hard, Believe in yourself. The system works. They love that one. The system works. All right, just not for you. You're not supposed to notice that, though. You're supposed to keep chasing the carrot, the house, the car, the 401, the dream that's just out of reach. They don't need to cage you when they've convinced you to build the fence yourself. We keep talking about freedom like it's a birthright, but it's turned into a luxury item. You can have all the freedom you can afford. You're free to live where you want if you can pay the rent. You're free to travel if you can afford gas. You're free to learn if you can pay tuition. Freedom's not a right anymore, it's a product. And the sales tax is due every month. And the cruel beauty of it all, we're the ones keeping it running. We keep showing up, clocking in, swiping cards, and chasing the same mirage. Because deep down, we still believe in it. We believe we're one lucky break away from making it. That's the hook. Hope. They sell us hope like a subscription plan. Renew annually or lose your access. So yeah, freedom's on sale. The good news, you can still get it. The bad news, the interest rate's killing us. You know, people keep saying the American dream is dead. It's not dead. It's just in reruns. They keep playing the same story over and over again. Like one of those old sitcoms that never goes off the air. You know how it goes. The poor kid works hard, gets a break, buys a house, and lives happily ever after. Cue the flag, cue the music, fade to credit. Only problem is that story hasn't been updated since black and white TV. The rest of us are stuck in the background, still waiting for our cue. It's the same old script, same dialogue, just different actors every generation. Your parents had it. Their parents had it. Now it's your turn to play your part. The optimistic worker who believes if you just keep hustling, something magical is going to happen. Hang in there, kid. It'll pay off. Yeah, maybe in Monopoly money. The system figured out a long time ago that hope is cheaper than a raise. They don't have to fix anything if you still believe you can win. And it's not like they hide it anymore. You turn on the TV, and there it is, the dream beautifully packaged. Smiling families, golden retrievers, picket fences. Everyone's laughing like they just discovered happiness on sale at the mall. Nobody tells you that the dog costs money, the fence needs painting, and the house comes with a 30-year sentence called a mortgage. They call it the American dream. But for most people, it's more like the American installment plan. You don't own it. You're just making payments on it until you die. You ever notice how they make making it sound like a moral achievement? Like if you didn't succeed, it's your fault. You didn't dream big enough, didn't grind hard enough, didn't visualize your goals while burning the right scented candle. Meanwhile, the people at the top are born halfway up the ladder and they think they climbed it because they were wearing better shoes. They love that story. It keeps everyone else busy polishing their boots, hoping for the same miracle. It's the same hustle every generation. They dangle the carrot, work hard, follow the rules, and you'll get your slice of paradise. But the trick is, the carrot keeps moving. You finally get a job, and they say, well, you need experience. You get the experience, and they say, well, you need a degree. You get the degree, and suddenly it's, sorry, we're only hiring part-time. By the time you catch up, they've already changed the rules. It's like playing musical chairs with invisible chairs. The music stops, and you're just standing there looking stupid. And we fall for it because it's such a beautiful idea. The dream says anyone can make it. Rich or poor, big city or small town, doesn't matter. It's the ultimate story of fairness. But that's the problem. It's a story. It's marketing. It's the kind of thing you tell people when you want them to work hard without asking too many questions. Because if everyone's dreaming, nobody's paying attention. The funny thing is, the dream has become the biggest industry in the country. Everything's built around it. Commercials, politics, schools, religion. They all sell the same promise. Keep believing. And someday you'll make it too. They turn ambition into a religion and hard work into worship. You don't need to go to church anymore. Just go to work and tithe to your employer. Salvation comes with direct deposit, and people defend it like it's sacred. You ever tell someone the system's rigged? They get offended. No, you just have to want it more. Yeah, sure. That's what they said to the miners, the factory workers, the single moms working 2 jobs. They wanted it plenty. You don't get to call it a fair race when half the runners start with their shoes tied together. But try saying that out loud, and someone will tell you you're just being negative. Negative. No, I'm just awake. We've turned optimism into an industry, too. There's a whole market for it. Motivational speakers, self-help books, posters with eagles on them. Reach for the sky. Yeah. The sky's nice. But I'm just trying to reach rent this month. They tell you to visualize success, but they never mention how expensive success looks on paper. Nobody dreams of debt collectors and overdue notices, but somehow that's the sequel everyone gets. And the best part, the dream doesn't even have to come true. It just has to keep you going. That's its genius. It's the world's most effective pacifier. You're tired, broke, and disillusioned, but you still think, maybe next year. Hope's the most addictive drug on the market. And it's legal. You keep chasing it because they make it sound patriotic. Questioning it feels like treason. It's always the same setup. The rich get richer, the poor get lectures, and everyone else claps along because they still think they're in the audience, not part of the show. But we're all in it. The whole country's one big rerun. Capitalism's favorite sitcom. You got your laugh track, your heroes, your villains, and the same predictable ending. The rich guy wins. The working guy learns a lesson about humility, and the audience feels inspired to go back to work on Monday. You ever wonder why people still buy lottery tickets? That's the dream and scratch-off form. It's the one affordable fantasy left. You never know. It could be me. Yeah, it could be. And it could also snow in July. The odds are terrible, but it's not about the odds. It's about the feeling. For 5 minutes, holding that ticket, you're not trapped. You're special. You've got a shot. And that's the same feeling the dream sells every single day. The people at the top understand this better than anyone. They don't need to sell you results, just possibilities. They don't even have to deliver on the dream. Just keep it shiny. That's why they love success stories so much. Every time someone makes it, they trot them out like proof the system works. See, he did it, so can you. Yeah, but they don't mention the 10 million who didn't. For every rags to riches story, there's a mountain of folks buried under student loans, medical bills, and rent increases. And yet we still cheer because we want to believe. It's comforting. It's cleaner than facing the truth that maybe the dream was never meant for everyone. Maybe it was designed to keep people chasing instead of changing. Keeps the wheels turning, the hands busy, the wallets open. That's the brilliance of it. It doesn't even have to be real to work. It's like watching an old movie. You know the plot, you know the ending, but you still watch because it feels good. The music swells, the hero wins, and for a few minutes, everything makes sense. Then the credits roll, and you go back to your life, same bills, same problems, same dream waiting for its next rerun. So no, the American dream isn't dead, it's syndicated. It's streaming 24/7 on every channel, every commercial, every classroom speech, every politician's promise. They keep airing it because it still gets great ratings. And as long as people keep watching, they'll never have to write a new show. Because the truth is, the dream doesn't need to be real. It just needs to be believable. And we've been believing for a long, long time.